Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be introducing our new guest today. He's a social activist, he's an entrepreneur. He is really has human rights on his mind. He says some exciting things about his story. His story is very interesting. I'm going to let him tell you about that when he comes on. But I know we'll have an interesting, great topic about Black love and the Black experience. Me and him have talked about the Black experience so many times, but it would be interesting to find out what he feels about Black love. So I'm just waiting for him to join. I want to welcome everybody. How's everybody doing? How was your Valentine's Day weekend? What did you guys do? Mine was great. I spent it in Puerto Rico. Very nice. The weather was nice. I'm feeling blessed. So I hope you guys feel blessed also. And we're about to get started. So I'm just waiting for him to come on, and then we will start the show. So let's talk about, while we're waiting for him to come on, Black news. What's been going on in Black politics, Black news, Black love. I saw all of y'all on Facebook flaunting your balloons and your flowers and your love and your, everything that, represents Valentine's Day. I saw y'all were out there doing it. So this is great. I think that a lot of times when it comes to Black love and it doesn't get enough rep, right? Like, I think that we need to really be visible in Black love. I know a lot of people don't want to put like their relationship, and I'm all for being private, and I'm pretty private myself to a certain extent, but I feel like that people should know that Black couples exist, that Black families, exist, that we are out here. So I love to see all the love on Valentine's Day. I love and so yes, I just heard from my guest. He's about to join. We are having an interesting conversation. So let me just make sure. All right, great. So, I think he's joining on now, and I'm going to bring him on camera. It's going to be a great conversation. I'm really excited about it. We've had other conversations. We did something a couple months ago called Black Unity, and that was really good. And he's from Africa. And of course, I'm an African American, and he gives an interesting story about how he learned about the African American experience also. And I can't wait for you guys to hear. Okay, yes, here we go. Here it is. All right. Come on now, let's see. Hey,
Hey,
Christian, what's
how
up?
are you, Charlotte?
Um, Decided to be on the show because, we've had conversations about Black people and Black unity for so long. And I know you have such an interesting perspective to bring to this conversation. So the first thing I want to talk about, of course, we're going to start off with the Black experience. You being from, right? People probably never heard of Gabon, right? But so tell them a little bit about where you're from and kind of how you got interested into like social activism.
Well, good evening, everyone, first of all, and thank you for having me on your, on your show. I will call it like that. Well, my experience on, well, Gabon is a country from Central Africa, right there on the equator lane. So we actually specifically on the center of the earth, Gabon, right there, on the center of the earth, on the west coast of Africa. And it's a very, very beautiful country. Actually, Samuel L. Jackson, the actor, people maybe sometimes my accent, I still have some of the French accent, but the actor Samuel L. Jackson actually is from Gabon. The actor, the famous Samuel L. Jackson.
And Chris's girlfriend is from
No,
Gabon.
that's the wife of what do you call this guy? This rapper from ATL. What's his name again? Ludacris. Ludacris. Yeah, the wife of Ludacris is from my country. And then the actor, Samuel Lee Jackson, is from Gabon. Actually, he was in Gabon maybe like 7 months ago or 9. And he was initiated in Gabon in the traditional initiatic thing that we have. Actually, he's from my tribe. He's Benga and he's a Miene, So Benga is from the troop of Gabon. I mean, it's from the ethnic group Miene. So you have Benga. So he was initiated.
Right.
He went through, we gave him also a passport. So if you go on his Wikipedia page, you will see that he has 2 nationality right now. So he's American, he has the American passport, and he's Gabonese. So I think it's great. I think it's great. So I'm from...
Americans, like Black people, are connecting back to the African
Yes.
roots. I think that's so important. Me and you have had conversations about African Americans and this African divide, right? Because, I was raised in New York, so I was raised with Caribbean Americans, African Americans, Africans, right? Black people that wherever, you wouldn't even know where they were from, and it was, we felt a unity in a sort of way. But there's also this stereotype that a lot of Africans don't like African Americans. Tell me about your story about how you really begin to understand the African American experience.
I mean, it happens. I would say I mean, I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to try to show that.
Come on now.
No, I know. I'm just saying, so that people have to understand that it's through exchanges like this that we can learn about each other. We can understand and have a different perception on things. Okay, you have to understand that a lot of people think, I'm going to address this to Africans first. You have a lot of Africans that think that being born in Africa makes you be, I would say an African, like you're an African because I'm born in Africa, right? But there is an author who is called Frantz Fanon. He speaks about black skin, white mask. Okay, so you could be born in Africa, but not be African because your ideology is Eurocentric. Okay.
Yes, and I sent you that book. I sent you the book called Colonizing the Mind.
Yes, Colonizing the Mind. It was amazing. So back in the days when I was in Africa and in Europe, most of the Africans from Central Africa were colonized by the French. Okay, most of the country in Africa that speak French were colonized by French. So that means they were invaded, they were violated, they were miseducated on their own ground by those who told us that they came to civilize us. Until today, you still have a lot of African that when they see the European, they see it like something like you see an angel. Okay, like you see an angel. So he's coming to teach you how to read, teach you how to pray God and all that. But then when I went through the process of being enlightened, I realized that, listen, I'm black, but actually I'm thinking like a white boy in my mind because I'm not recognizing myself. I've been the best thing even that God had created because everything started from me. You know what I mean? So so it's when I came to America that I first heard the word minority. And it's from the word minority that I started asking questions. Why are they calling me minority here while I'm coming from a continent where everybody is black? But majority of people are black. So I started to dig now in literature. I started to dig. And then one day I was working around Howard University because, when I first came in America, I was in Maryland. I've always been in Maryland. But I had some friends in Howard while I was going to University of Maryland, College Park. So as I was walking down the street, I saw this bookstore that was called The Pyramid. And I went into the bookstore. And then when I went in the bookstore, it's like I went to paradise because everything that was there was written, was researched, was black black conscience, black knowledge, black power, everything that was made by black power in terms of literature. So that kind of showed me a different side of me. Then I realized that I was black, and then my people also did a lot of things and contributed in civilization, you know. But I want to say something. You know, in Africa, for my brothers and sisters that are from America, you have to understand in Africa, we do not control our education just like here. Okay, but it's even worse over there. So Europeans are still in control of most of African countries. They would say we are decolonized, but no, not really, because the economy is managed by them. The politics, they are the one who decide who is in power, and most of the time we still have to, you know, they are the one that are validating whoever is president because of their interest. If you talk too much about black consciousness, now they'll be like, no, this guy, we're not gonna have an interest. So you will see a coup and all that. But those who mistreat the population will be the one that will stay there for years and years. I come from a country where the president is being powerful for 48 years. Yeah, one family, 48 years, one president, 48 years, and now we have the son, and then it continues. So it's like a business, you know. But that cannot happen in America. So it's important that we exchange, and then the more we exchange, we can free our people all around the world, you know.
I love that idea of exchange, because I often say we have so much more that we can work towards together than we do apart. You know, I just came to finish seeing the Judas movie, Judas and Black Messiah. It was such a powerful movie, and to know that they killed him because that he was about to unify forces together for the Black Party. So I think about that. I think about Africans and African Americans. It's easy to say that we have differences. Of course we have differences. Our cultures are different. We do things differently. But it's more powerful to say we have differences, but if we come together, united front, we can make anything happen. So I love the fact that you bring that up. I want to hear a little bit about your experience being a social activist in Gabon. Like, I know that you've had, you know, experiences with your country, but you've actually lived the life of a social activist. About that.
Well, I mean, everything has a link. Like I was telling you, when we're in Africa, we go to school in Africa, but the education system is not controlled by us. We do not know anything about slavery. I'm gonna tell you that. We don't know anything about slavery. Whatever happened in America, we don't know. When we talk about slavery, it's gonna be maybe a chapter, and then we like, it's something that is very superficial. It's just on the top. It's like we're gonna talk about maybe the triangle, the trade triangle that happened between Europe, America, and in Africa. But it is even presented like they took us to help Europe or help Americans, like we were in the labor, you know, like going to participate, you know, like in a civilized way, you know. But they don't show the violence, the brutality, the genocide, the kidnapping. Actually, the biggest kidnapping that happened on earth is what happened to Africans, you know, and we were brought everywhere in America, in South America, Brazil, and all that. But they do not show that aspect of things. So that's why a lot of Africans do not relate to African American, our brothers and sisters here. You see, we were brought here. We didn't come here on vacation. We didn't come here to say that we're going to Bahamas or something. They took us. And I'm even laughing when I hear people talking about human trafficking. Because who started the first human trafficking? Who did the biggest human trafficking? It's them. And now they're the one telling us, oh, they're fighting human trafficking. You know, it's so ironic. So I just wanted to point that, to say that a lot of Africans do not relate to African Americans because they don't take the time to I mean, it was not exposed to them that we were brought here and we were barbecued, we were hanged, we were all that stuff. No. It's not presented like that.
The horrendous atrocities.
Yes, it's not.
Of slavery are not exposed.
No, it's not. No, definitely they're not going to do that, because if they do that, imagine all this youth, because Africa is the youngest continent right now. you know, 60% of the population is young, under 25. So imagine all these youth knowing that their ancestors were violently taken from Africa to America. And then when they were brought here, and now being here, they're treating us like second-class citizens. Still want to treat us like strangers while they're the one who brought us here. You see what I mean? It's crazy. So I started digging. I started being interested. So I came here, I studied, and after reading people like Carter Woodson, after reading people like Marimba Ani, Booker T, John Henry Clark, I mean, I started being conscious, more conscious and more conscious. You know, so when I started going back home, I became a threat. I became a problem. Everything that I learned here was now something that was against me when I went back home.
Awaken your consciousness when it came to the African American experience.
Yes.
And that's something that's interesting too, where I've heard this about the cultures. You come to America, no matter what culture you come, when you come to America, it brings you this sense of freedom and this sense of like activism that is nowhere else. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you have this whole thing like, I can fight, you know what I'm saying, these causes.
Yeah. So when I started going back home, you know, I started now voicing my opinion on certain violation, you know. So I was the president of the Gabonese for Democracy and Human Rights here in America. And then now going back and forth, I was the first in my country to start doing videos and denouncing what was not normal, I think, you know, like socially, politically, and economically. I was just asking simple questions like, what is the salary of the president? It became a problem. Why are you asking the salary of the president? I started asking, what is all these inequities between the ethnics? Why are you feeding hate between people that are from Africa but are just from different tribes? You know, and it's sad, you know, that on the motherland, especially on the French side, you know, we are very under the control of French people, you know, and it gets to the point where we come back again to the black skin, white mask. That's why you have a lot of Africans that speak French. If you ask them, what's your language? They're gonna say, oh, I speak French, I'm French. That's a colonized mind. That's not your language. You are Miene, I'm Miene.
Right.
You are Punu, you are Nzebi, you are Kota, you are Teke. When you say, oh, French, I'm French. French is the language of the one who came and diminished you. You know, and then every ethnic group in Africa can write. So I always give my opinion when I hear a European telling me, what is your dialect? I said, no, it's not a dialect, it's a language. We don't have, I don't call it a dialect, it's a language because we can write it, you can spell it, you can read the Bible, you can write Bibles, you can have dictionary. We do have dictionary in our own language, it's not a dialect. The name dialect was to make us look like we were disorganized, we were uncivilized, we were subordinated, you know, so that's why it's a dialect. No, it's a language.
I love it. I think that's so powerful because in so many ways, how language and literacy and words are used to even diminish a population of people, an ethnic group of people feel like they are, you know, inferior to another culture, which is, you know, we've taken, a lot of us sadly have taken on that inferiority and not, you know, really understood our power, didn't understand who we are with our own language, with our own money system. I was so happy when Bermuda decided to take the Queen off of their money, off of their, you know, system, their economic system. So things like this need to happen even in other countries. You know, so many countries, black countries like Haiti, have been destroyed by their colonists, and they're still paid to this day. So I totally understand what you're saying. And I love the fact that you stood up, that you asked questions, but I know that got you into trouble. So I don't know if you want to talk about
that. I got into a lot of trouble because, for example, the last time I went to Africa, I was arrested. I was detained for 83 days because I was that one that put on the international TV, the French 24 is like one of the biggest channel in France where they have reporters. I had them come to Gabon and record a psychiatric hospital where people were abandoned for like a year without treatment. So what is wrong to denounce that? What is wrong to call the press, the media, and say, hey, listen, government, look at these people, they're abandoned. Can you ring a bell to the people working there, or can you sack the people or something? So I'm actually helping the country, but doing that got me in trouble. So, but what I did, it was a mistake for them when they did that, because I'm an international champion. You know, I used to be in the national team of my country, Taekwondo. When I came here in America also, I did it good. I was 4-time Maryland champion, #2 in America, #1 in Brazil and all that. So I've been doing martial arts. So I was out there, people knew me. So, you know, it's for me today, I realized that God has a plan for everybody, because when I was detained, I was like, God, why are you allowing this? Why are you letting these people embarrass me like that? And I had the answer. God said, Christian, you can handle this. You are well known. So teach these people a lesson. So while I was there, I took pictures. I took everything. I sent it to my cloud. And then I showed to the world what was happening inside there so that they can change, because this is against humanity. I will send you some pictures. People are detained there like they were in a slave ship. You'll be in a room that is less than 10 feet, 15 feet to 20 feet, and you are like 30 inside. And then they put some scales like that, and then people will sleep on the top, under, one on the, like you in a slave ship. When I was there, I felt like, I was like, this is black on black slavery.
Yes.
You know? And I say no. I say no. And I took the pictures, I sent it to the French thing. And then the director of the prison got sacked. You know, all the chain, they went through hell because of me. And I think that was the right thing to do, so that change can happen. You cannot treat people like they were not human. We're already treated like animals abroad. When being taken from Africa, they brought us here in America. We are treated like dogs. We are treated like animals. They don't want to respect our rights. But then being on the continent and not treating like a human, come on. I was like, no, I'm not going to accept that. So because of that, I started to ask my question, how can I help more this fight? So I registered not a long time ago to one of the biggest schools that fight for human rights here in DC. It's called the Institute for Diplomacy and Human Rights. You know, U.S. Institute for Diplomacy and Human Rights. And then I graduated. So now that knowledge, I can use it for my continent, or I can use it in the world for the humankind. You know?
Yes. I love it. I love it.
So I'm a consultant now in human rights.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, it's so important that we stand up for each other's issues. You know, I remember part of the civil rights movement, what made it so successful is that we didn't divide people, right? That it was important that if I stand up for you as a Spanish, if they're treating you bad over there, I'm standing up for you. Now, when blacks get treated bad, you stand up for me. When they treat women bad, we stand up for you. We need to join together, lock arms, and say, we're not going to stand for any injustice anywhere to anybody, period. And I think that's what makes, and especially when it comes to Africans and African Americans. I remember growing up in New York City. I forgot his name. I think his name's Amadou. But one of the first guys that was killed by the police, shot some crazy amount of times, over 20 times, was an African.
Yeah, you know, is it Diallo? The Diallo?
Yeah, Diallo.
Yeah.
Diallo. You know, it took me up. So I think it's important that we acknowledge the African experience and the African American experience, because both are important to civilization.
Yeah, we're the same.
And I love for Gabon and for the community, and really bringing an awareness to social injustice, not only in America, but, you know, in your country. I think that's important. Because a lot of times these countries would tout, you know, something that's totally different from what's happening inside the country, right? And we really need to get to the bottom of it. But I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about Black love.
Black love.
Black love, right? I'm gonna stay on the African American point, because I have a lot of diverse friends, and one of the things I hear from my African friends, that African American women don't know how to love their men. What do you say about that as a man? Come on now. I'm pulling it out of you
Wow, you're
today.
trying to put me on fire here. No, no, no. I'll speak. I mean, we're gonna talk about black love. You know, again, there's a problem, a big problem. You know, in Africa, to talk about love, how do you appreciate black love if you don't really even love yourself as being black? You know, and in Africa, we have that situation seriously where a lot of Africans, as dark as me, will rather be with a lighter sister than a darker sister. Because for them, again, the colonized mind, they think that having a lighter sister, she's more beautiful, or having a white girl as a girlfriend, you feel like you are blessed, because when you're going to have a child, that child will be what we call in our country métis, or half caste. We'll call it half caste.
Right.
And a half caste is socially a better thing when you have caste. So you will say a black man, he will love more a half caste than.
Well, we have that in America.
Yeah, you see, so the problem is everywhere. but then listen, I'm gonna go a little bit far from the answer. Then I'm gonna answer, because there's a situation that we really have to dig into. Because I don't know if you know that in Africa, 60 to 55% of sisters in Africa bleaches themselves. But they don't realize that the sisters that you see in the video, when you see Beyonce, when you see like you, Chalet, you see people that have lighter skin, they're not bleaching themselves. They're not putting hydroquinone. They don't use products that have hydroquinone or cortisoid in whatever they use. Is because of history. Okay? A lot of sisters in America have Indian blood, have white blood. And the blood that they have wasn't a blood that was really brought by love. It was violation and all kind of stuff, rapes and all that. But them in Africa, they want to be like you, light. So they go and they bleach themselves, because a lot of black men, or because of a lot of them, think that if I'm lighter, I'm more beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to see a lot of African American sisters that will go to Africa and tell to African women that, yo, your skin is beautiful.
Yes.
We want to be like you. You know?
Yes.
You know?
I love it.
But
I'm so glad you say song, that brown skin girl. That was so needed.
But to answer your question, for me, I mean, it's a tough question, because I've been in America since 1989. I've dated African American. I've dated, not that much of Africans. But when I was in Africa and Europe, I did a lot of African. But it's a different love, because when you date an African American, a sister, when I say sister, meaning that is conscious, the love is beautiful, because she knows where she's coming from. She treats you like a brother, and she treats you as a lover. But in Africa, the girl will treat you like, okay, you're my boyfriend, but it's not gonna go beyond that, like, you my brother. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Like, when you're dating an African American, when you go through your struggle, she understands it. She will understand it more than a sister in Africa, because she would treat you like, okay, I'm gonna go get a white man. You have too much trouble. I'm gonna go get a white man. I'm gonna get my white man because y'all treat us wrong. Y'all bad. I'm gonna get my white man. It's quick to get a white man in Africa. But while here, you see a sister, she would think a lot before crossing.
Yeah, that causes us problems, though. I will say that. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing. It's a blessing and a curse. I love the fact that we as African Americans can endure so much and be there for our brothers, and really, like what you said, like we down, like we ride or die, what I'm saying? You lose, no matter. But then sometimes we find ourselves being empty in relationships, because
we've stayed too long, or we've given too much, or we've, you know, where other cultures are like, I had an African, my trainer was from Liberia, right? My African trainer, her name was, she was wonderful. Her name was Marty. Shout out Marty. And she told me, Chalet, I don't deal with this. I don't deal with this. I'm going. They don't treat me right. I'm done. You know why? Because I know who I am.
Yes.
You know, she was trying to imply that African American women are still trying to figure out who they are. But as an African woman, she's held to a standard from day one.
But you see, it's a very tough question, you know, the black love thing, because I will say, I don't know if you read the book from, I think I told you about Simone de Beauvoir, the French writer.
Yes.
You know, one of the greatest,
Yes.
Simone de Beauvoir. She wrote a book called Les Femmes Savantes, you know, like genius women, you know, like women that were very educated. The problem in America is that you have a lot of, I mean, I think it's even in the world. The more a sister is educated, it's like she fetches away from reality. Like now it's like, I can do this by myself. I don't need a man. I'm educated and all that. But that because the ground, the foundation was not there. Like the balance of a father and a mother, you know, we all know that our structure in America is being destroyed. And that's why they want the woman to have the pants, the trouser, and then the man to have the skirt. You see, but in Africa, I don't care how much degree that you have, but the woman will still be like, I'm not gonna say submissive, but she will know her place. Like, I'm educated, but I still have to take care of my man. I'm educated, but I can't talk louder than my man. I'm educated, I have to respect my man. You know, but in America, sometimes when women are too educated, they don't respect the man. And that's where there's a problem, because now they're feeding what the white man put in place. You should not respect your man. For example, for a black woman, in America to have social assistance, you have to deny the man, the existence of a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So while in Africa, we don't have that. You know, so it's a campaign that sometimes the sister is nourishing. See, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. So a lot of sisters, I'm keeping it real. A lot of sisters are forgetting the plan of that plan to destroy us, to divide us. How many times do you hear a sister say, "You are nothing"? It's not the white girl that's gonna say it to the man, the black man. It's the black woman that's gonna tell it to the black man, "You are nothing." And that's why a lot of black men go to the white woman. You see, so we have to review how we talk to each other. I will never call a sister the B word. I've never done that, and I will never do that. And a sister also should learn how to never call a brother like "you are nothing," because you don't know the impact, the psychological impact that he has in the mind of the brother. To see your own, you know what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead.
That's good. You know, as an American woman, I can agree. Like, you know, this may be controversial, but it's the truth. I remember me, you know, me strong woman, you know, really feeling like I don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got it together. What I need a man for? Neck rolling, you know what I'm saying? Like, who you think you are? You know? But it was really, to tell you the truth, my Caribbean brothers and sisters, my African brothers and sisters, and I saw the way they treated their men. And so now I have my own philosophy about what I want. Like, I would never raise my voice to my man. Like, I don't do that even when I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain ways I carry myself, because I will always want him to know that I have a certain respect for him as a man. And that transcends whatever degree he has, you have. It transcends what he doesn't have. You know, when you respect somebody, you know, there's a level there that respect is such a powerful word. Sometimes it's more powerful than love. Because
like something just came in mind. Look at the scripture in the Bible. The Bible says, "Husband, love your wife." But he says, for the women, respect your man. But here's something here. Because God knows that the man is like a lion, okay? The lion goes out there, he can see a lot of lioness, right? But you have to pick one. The one that you pick, love her, because you're still gonna be tempted. You're gonna be tempted. So if you don't love your woman, you're gonna be everywhere. You see, that's on one side. So that's why he wants you to love your woman. So even if you have temptation and everything, you'll be like, no, I love my woman, I can't do that. But then on the other side, the women respect your man. He doesn't really ask you to love your man. He said, respect your man, because above everything, what is more important for a man is respect.
I love that. Also, I want to say, I think it's important to, and I'm going to flip the script a little bit on men and say that a lot of men have been colonized in their minds and tricked to think that the things of this world are so much more important than having one good quality woman. You know, they've been little material things in their faces. You know, I mean, look, we live in an Instagram world. Everybody got booties out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody have to wear full clothes anymore. Everywhere you turn, it's all about the body shape and the look. And that's good, but it says so little about the character of a man or character of a woman, you know? And so I think as black men need to, that's another situation. How do you feel about that as a black man, where there's temptation everywhere? I mean, especially women, black women are being objectified all over.
I'm gonna tell you something. My mother always says something to me. She said, Christian, every second, there is a beautiful black girl, baby, that is born. So whoever you pick as your wife, there's always gonna be somebody that is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now the theory now comes in. What makes a man? My father told me that what makes a man is the capacity to make decisions.
I love
it. So you you make that decision. Okay, Charlotte is going to be my wife. It's a decision. No matter what happens, that's my wife. So you're going to have temptation. You're going to have everything. But you have to remember that anyway, we are always in trouble because we see things vertically. Women see things horizontally. That's why a woman could she can check out a man while she was you, and you're not going to know, because God gave her the plenitude to see things horizontally, because she could see the seeds, she could see the children, she can grow seeds and stuff. But while men, vertical, we have to turn, you got to do something to look, and she get caught. You know, so man, avoid that. Make the decision. So this is one thing that I'm going to do a subdiction to say, is that sometimes you have sisters in America, because we're trying to exchange. Nourish each other, because that's what the white men don't want us to do. You know, that's why the Western world don't want us to do, to enrich each other, to share the knowledge. I have something that you need, because I was left in Africa. Luckily or unluckily, I was left in Africa with the tradition, the rituals, and the history. You were taken away. Some of our ancestors were taken away here, luckily or unluckily. I say luckily or unluckily because those who were brought here is because of the fight that they fought, that we have human rights, civil, and all that. That's a luck. Because if they didn't come, maybe we'll never had somebody like Martin Luther King and Shabazz and the rest. You know what I'm saying? So we have to exchange and take what is good on the sisters and brothers here, and take what is good on the brothers and sisters back home. Because at the end of the day, we're the same blood. You know?
Yeah, I love it. I must say too, let me just speak for and I know you feel the same way, Christian, because we're diverse in our friendships. But I've learned a lot even from my white brothers and sisters, and from some of my friends that are not black, right? In the way they love, the way they handle. I've learned watching them, right? Watching their peace, because they have a peace and freedom that we most of the time cannot even obtain until we get it. We have to go after, right? And I've watched the way their marriages, but you know, they don't marry thinking about, oh, he looked fine, or he looked good, or he good in bed, or she good in bed. They marry purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the purpose why we're getting married. You know what I'm saying? And they feel, and not saying that they don't have to, but it's just different, you know. And I think that we think about our future, and I miss the 50s and the 60s where people stayed together, and they, you know, I mean, there was some bad things about that too, right? Because most of the time women just took whatever came their way, and women are like, we're not doing that no more. So I'm glad about that. But I will also say that I do miss the structure of the Black
Yeah,
family,
the structure. And
yeah, the structure of the Black family is so important and it's so needed. And the headship of the man, where he belongs, his place. You know what I'm saying? It's so important.
you see, people, we have to push that button. I know it's a very sensible button, but I'm going to push it. I hear a lot of sisters, when you say, you can't talk to me like that. You can't say this to me. She'll be like, oh, what? Because, oh, you African man, you think you can talk to me, treat me anywhere? I'm not your slave and everything. I say, no, you're not getting it. I am a man. Okay? So there's a way you talk to me because I'm a man. And because you're a lady, there's a way I should talk to you also. It doesn't mean that because I say that you're a lady that I'll talk to a certain way. It doesn't mean that I'm going to say you, blah, blah, blah. No. You my queen. I'm not going to talk to you like I'm talking to a dude. When I'm on the street or when I'm in certain situation where I have to raise up my voice or put my step on the ground, you're my queen. You're a lady. I'm going to talk to you a certain way. But we have different lane. My responsibility is to protect and to reinforce your authority in the relationship when we have kids. It's never the father that raised the children, it's the mother. But the father always come there to put the authority, like, your mama didn't say that, or the mother would say, oh, you want me to call your dad? So we there to be the security of whatever she said or I say. You know what I'm saying? So submissive, being submissive. When you say, when African American sister here, oh, you want me to be submissive? Submissive doesn't mean that you are a slave. Submissive doesn't mean that you don't have anything to say. Submissive is to say that you know your limits. You know that you cannot cross certain things. You cannot talk to me and tell me, for example, I'll give you a little example. You are a lady and you tell a man, listen, this is what I had to say and I'm not going to repeat myself. You don't talk to a man like that. You don't talk, even your child, you don't talk like that. How are you going to talk to a man and say, hey, listen, this is what I say and I'm not going to repeat myself? No. Me? You talk to me like that? You could be, I don't know, Halle Berry or whatever. I'm gone because you don't know the limit. You don't have a limit. You have to have a limit to remember that this is a man in front of me, my black man. All he needs is respect. Respect.
And I will say respect is a two-way street.
It is. But you see, when we talk about respect, women think that we want to diminish them. No. It doesn't mean that. Because I stated before that I'm going to talk to me, anybody that knows me, that have dated me, then no, I don't use the B word. Never. I even had women be like, Christian, you know what? I've been with you. I've been left. I'm gone, but you never. I did everything to try to push you on that lane. I don't. Because my father taught me that. I've never seen my dad call my mom a B. So that's why we have to keep our pyramid together. The pyramid. We have to have a pyramid. Because if you hear and you see violence, that's what you're going to give. So we all know what brings the violence, what brings instability is the drug, using drugs or dealing drugs. Because using drugs will make you violent, will make you irrational. Dealing drugs will get you arrested. And when you're arrested, the structure is not going to be there again. You know what I mean? Your child is going to be there on his own, figuring things out. So we don't want that. We have to be focused and develop a sense of belonging. And I think that's what lacks a lot in America. It's been taken away from us, the sense of belonging. When I have the sense of belonging, I know that, this guy walked on my feet. I'm not going to take my gun and shoot him, because if I do that, my child, my mother, my uncle, my sister's going to miss me. No, I'm not going to, you know what I mean? The sense of belonging has to come back.
So important.
It's important.
So important. And you know what? That covers a lot of ground. If we knew our true identity, and we knew identity in, in who we were as a people, we know our strengths, we know who we are, we know what we belong to, we know where we come from, it would solve a lot of issues today. So I just want to get in a closing.
Yo,
because you
man, yo,
said so
Charlotte, you
much.
got a lot of people that want to talk right there. We got a lot of brothers and sisters.
I know.
One day you're gonna have to open up because this is what we need.
I will. I'm gonna have an open up discussion eventually, so we can open it up to the floor. But I want to just in closing, I want you to give some words about the state of Black America today and the state of Black love. You can just close us out with that.
Well, for me, I think in order for us to continue, I mean, whew, it's tough to put it together. I mean, I want my people to understand that this is what we need. The exchange. The exchange will make us know more about each other and not let the gossip, the division that are put out there to keep us separated. Okay, that's one thing.
Yeah.
And the second thing is to always think, I have a sister in front of me. If I'm doing this to this sister, will I let somebody do that to my sister? We need to love each other because every people on earth are sticking together. We are the only one that are not trying to stick together. We are the only one that they're trying to make disappear. But we are the ones still standing because there is no other race that is more than us, like is developing like us, except the Asians. So we really have to focus on loving each other, fight the media, fight the misconception and the misconception of who our sisters
I don't know, but
you know, because they're putting our sisters on the lower stage. The Black woman is violent.
Yes,
The Black woman is aggressive. The Black woman love money. The Black woman, all that. We have to be conscious about that and treat each other better. That's it. That's what I have to say. You know, it's not bad to love your sister. It's not bad to say sorry. I am a strong Black man. Look at me. But I know how to say sorry. I say, sis, I'm sorry. You know, you got to learn how to say, it doesn't kill to say sorry to your queen. It's not kill to say sorry to your friend. Because there is no relationship that is perfect. You'll never meet somebody that exactly like you want him to be. So we have to take the courage to sculpt each other.
I love it.
So we have to take the sculpt each other, and we all come with baggages. So I have baggages maybe of security, of untrust, of all that. But you can't think that every Black man that is coming is to use you. You can't think that every Black man that is coming don't have a job. Or you can't think, oh, I may not have a job today, but that's reality, but that's not my truth. The reality, maybe today I don't have a job. But does it mean that I don't have a degree? Does it mean that I'm not looking for a job? Does it mean that you think I'm not really maybe doing a transition? Or does it mean that because I have a big car that I'm a good man? No, so let's not just be taken away by what we see, because sometimes what you see is not what you get. So maybe the guy today doesn't have anything, but as a queen, you are the one that can take from 0 to an hero if you are the right one.
That's right. I'm like, listen, if you a real queen, you could make 1,000 there, a million.
Exactly.
Okay, you could make a million, a billion. That's what we queens are built to do.
Yes.
That's my philosophy. Like, I'm not even worried about what you look like right now, because when you do with me, I can take you to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Real, you know?
Exactly. So thank you.
Good man.
Tell me.
I think a good man feel the same
Thank
way. You know, so yes, I appreciate you joining us, Christian. You said so much. I'm so glad with everybody that watched. You know, we're gonna have to have this discussion again soon, open it up for the floor. But I want to appreciate you for coming on the show. Stay tuned. Great interviews coming up. Christian, where can they find you on social media? You know, where can
they can contact me. Oh Lord, my name is like Schwarzenegger, so it's Christian Alex Combeñondo. Please don't say it's difficult. Don't say Combeñondo is difficult, because when Schwarzenegger says his name, you don't say it's difficult because he's white, right?
That's right.
So Combeñondo, you know, I'm from Central Africa. So you go on Facebook, it's Christian Alex Combeñondo, or you go on Instagram. You can see my clothing line is Inche Jean USA, or you go on the internet, on the web, is shopinshade.com. So I have a clothing line that I'm putting out there. So where I actually talk about culture, you know, doing unity. I believe in unity and diversity. So I'm trying to be out there with the clothing line also to send the positive message to human, not just black, but to human, because there's only one race, the humankind. It doesn't exist a white race, a black race, and a Chinese race. No, all that was made up to divide us. All that was made up for economic reasons. There's only one race, and that's what I want to end with, is the humankind. Thank you, love you all, and stay strong. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shalette.
All right, bye.